Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1970 Seattle Pilots What If Scenario. Today we wrapped up the month of April with a victory over the Angels, and before we flip to May, we're going to go ahead and do our video in which we look at the standings through the first month of the season, and then we'll look at the league leaders for the American League, and then we'll kind of peruse the National League really quickly. If you look at the standings, let's start here first, I guess. You'll see that we're 9-18 out of the gate, and it is not the worst record in the American League, but it's pretty damn close. And I feel like I've learned absolutely nothing about our team so far. Our pitching has been spotty, and I've decided to go back to using an old managing method that I've used in the previous sim seasons that we've played, and we have got our team ERA down to under 5, but it's going to cause us to burn out our bullpen, and that does concern me. And I think probably here in the month of May, I might start that game plan of shuttling bullpen arms down to the minor leagues and bringing them back. Bringing back other AAA arms to make sure that we keep our better bullpen arms healthy and available to us for the whole season. So I've already started doing that. As you saw, John Morris came up before yesterday's game. Now, our batting average is terrible. Look at our team batting average. This is to be expected. We have nobody in our lineup that is really capable of being counted on to get hits in big situations. Darren Johnson has been the most consistent. These are the total stats right now for our team. And this was after, well, I got to get Bill Robinson in there. So this is not the next lineup. I guess we can just fix this real quick by doing this. You kind of get a better idea of our players here. But anyway, the point of it all is that we don't have anyone that is capable of coming through in the clutch. Darren Johnson is our best hitter through the first month, batting .300. I feel like he can bat versus lefties and righties. Otherwise, we have a lot of bats that are only capable of batting versus lefties or righties. They can't hit both. And because of that, we don't have anyone in our everyday lineup, with the exception of Darren Johnson, that has been consistent. Now, Bill Robinson has come through and had some big games for us. He does lead the American League in RBI. I believe we will see that momentarily. But Mike Hegan, Tommy Agee, Clay Dalrymple, who's supposedly our everyday catcher, he's only got 4 RBI so far. Rich Rollins, I feel like he could be a player that will come around for us, but I don't really want to play him. I want to play Aurelio Rodriguez for defensive purposes, but I can't play him with that. With a damn 138 batting average, I can't do that. So now we've got to somehow figure out a platoon, but they both suck versus righties, and they both suck versus lefties. So I don't really know how to get around that. Gary Sutherland can't hit righties, but he can hit lefties really great. He's proficient at that. So, and Freddie Patek, if you remember last year, he was a late bloomer. So I feel like he will come around eventually. But we have no speed. We have a ton of power, thanks to my terrible design for our Brainiac Baseball Stadium for the Pilots 1970 season. So we expanded that stadium and brought the fences in, and we're blasting them out. But unfortunately, so are our opponents. If you look at our rotation, keeping in mind that if they have a check mark, that means I cannot send them down. They're under a major league contract. Everybody else could be sent down. We got Ricky Clark, who's recovering from an injury. And then we have Ron Locke, who we sent down because of overuse. And Bruce Brubaker is going to have to go down pretty soon as well, because we've already overused him. But more importantly, if you look at our rotation, man, this is just, I don't know how we are going to be able to win any games with these five. And these are five pitchers that, really helped us out last year. We add Ricky Clark to the group, who's also got an 81 rating, so he's right there with the top three. And after 2 starts, he's been mediocre at best. So we lost Dave Leonard, who we traded for in the preseason, and he got injured for 140 more days. So we've had some things go against us here, and I don't really know how we're going to overcome our own pitching. Yes, we can make trades. Let's take a look at one more thing here. Finances. Look, our team payroll is $1.26 million. It's the lowest in the, it's actually second lowest to Kansas City. And our payroll budget is $1.28 million. So, we have a little bit of room to work. We expanded our seating in the Sixth Stadium from 7,500 seats to 35,000 seats. And all we've done is gone from a 1,700 per game attendance last year to 16,000. So I feel like the game, I think if I spent more money beyond our payroll, it might cause us to get more attendance because the game wants to try to keep us right at the level mark. I just want to point out that Baltimore is going to get pummeled. They're already over $1 million in the hole based on their payroll. So they are going to be a team that will be trading off their players. And if we look at the standings here in the American League, once again, you'll see that they're in first place. And they're a team that I would expect to compete all year. So I don't know what to think. Are they just going to take that loss and try to win with, their staff of pitchers and the all-stars and Hall of Famers that they have in their lineup? I don't know. But we do have 32 home runs for our last place team. That's usually a bad sign. And we have the fourth worst ERA. And I think I can get this ERA down. I think I can manage this, but you just don't know what's going to happen here. The American League's batting .250. And we're 20 points below that. And we're struggling against California that's batting .209s. I don't know. I feel like I have not learned anything from this season so far, other than maybe going back to my old methodology of managing the bullpen. That might actually benefit us. Here's the National League. San Diego 5-22. I think we had a contest last year, right? Who could get closest to guessing how many losses the Padres might have. Maybe we'll do that again this year. Haven't added a contest. St. Louis is 18-9. Cincinnati's 19-6 or 8-2 in their last 10 games. So anyway, you get the picture. That's all we really need to look at for the standings. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the league leaders. I have looked at this occasionally, but this is really the first time I've delved into it. So we're going to do all the batters first, all the batting and fielding categories first, and then we'll do the pitching categories for the American League, and then we'll just look at the main categories for the National League. So we are through 1 month, and Sal Bando of Oakland is batting .380. There's another catcher here, Hal King, Jose Cardenaldes, Joe Torre, Billy Parker, who just got injured. Oh, no, he didn't get injured. He had a hit streak come to an end. That's what happened there. Anyway, you can look down the list here. It looks like Gary Sutherland is the only one on our team that qualifies. Darren Johnson was batting .300, but he must not have the at-bats. There you go. So there's batting average. At-bats, Joe Torre has the most. There's Tommy Agee on that list. Feel free to pause it if you want to take a little longer look. Doubles, Frank Baker, Deluncer, and Zoilo Versalles all have 6. It's a bunch of 8. Have 9. There's a bunch of 6s and 5s here. Freddie Patek, despite not being able to hit, does manage to have 5. Okay, grounding into double plays. I do like to look at this. Carl Yastrzemski has 11. That's terrible after 1 month. Bill Robinson has 5. Our biggest problem is we don't have anybody to hit and run to stay out of double plays. And we have people that we attempt to hit and run with, and they swing and miss, and we get the strike them out, throw them out, which is also brutal. Okay, let's take a look at extra base hits. Mike Epstein has 14, and you'll see there's Bill Robinson, Hegan, and Tommy Agee all on that list. I believe Epstein with Bill Robinson might be co-leaders in home runs. Okay, let's take a look at fielding average. This is going to be puke. Let's take a look at catchers. Yeah, Clay Dalrymple sucks. And he's supposed to be great. Okay, look. Okay, his fielding number's not good, but he's got a great arm and he has good range. And so far he's made 4 errors in 17 starts behind the plate, plus a pass ball. He is throwing out 27% though. And that's why we got him. We got him for defensive purposes. I could really care less if he hits properly. Okay, first base. Darren Johnson and Joe Pepitone. That's good news. Mike Hegan is our best first baseman, but we have him in the left. Looks like Darren Johnson's getting the job done. Good job by him. Second base. Gary Sutherland in the middle of the pack. 982. That's more than fair. And here's another defender who's got a 77 defensive rating, below league average, and he's just as good as anybody else. I have no idea how the ratings work. Whoa. Rich Rollins is second defensively in fielding percentage? Holy shit, he's only made 1 error, but his range and WAR are bad. So he's not turning double plays. He's not going around the horn. So I guess in a sense that is hurting us, keeping the inning alive. Shortstop, yeah, Freddie Patek. He's sucking the pipe. He is way down there. He's as low as it goes. Now, I do think he's going to come around, and if it's anything like George Brett in our 84 series, where George Brett had like 20 errors in the first 60 games and then didn't make another error, maybe we have nothing to worry about. He made 13 errors last year in 78 starts for us. He's got 7 in 22. Right? So he's way ahead of pace. All right, next up is left field. And there's Mike Hegan. Now, he's not really a standard left fielder. So he doesn't have range because he's more of a first baseman. But he does not make errors. And what more can you ask for? Okay, center field, Tommy Agee. This guy's an error machine. But he has actually done okay so far this year. Only 1 error. He had 8 errors in center field last year and 11 total. So, okay. How can his range, defensive runs saved or whatever, how is it worse through 25 games than it was his whole season? Heck if I know, man. All right, and then right field is Bill Robinson, middle of the pack. And that makes sense. I would say he's a middle of the pack defender. All right, so there you go. Defensively, Tommy Agee has played every game. Darren Johnson's only missed 1. Should be games started. I think I'd be more interested in that. Hits. Whoa, Joe Torre's got 40. Now, last year, didn't they platoon Joe Torre? I guess he's officially the first baseman now. That's right, because they got rid of Boog Powell. They traded him to the an expansion team, the Expos. I think that's what team he's on. All right. There was a Seattle guy there. Oh, Gary Sutherland. I mean, the guy's got a 68 rating, and he's among the leaders in hits. How does that make any sense? Okay. Who's been hit by the pitch the most? Bill Melton's been hit 4 times. AG and Robinson have been hit twice. Home runs, this is what you're looking for. Yeah, Bill Robinson. That's a nice surprise. I think somebody commented. I haven't been able to get to the comments from that came up today. But someone I read had said something to the effect that Bill Robinson is like so far ahead of schedule. He's already got more home runs this year than he's had in any year so far. So they're front loading him, and they probably will finish it like 20 or something. You know, like, he might not even get to 20. But even if we got 20, that would be more than I would have expected before the year started. So I'm really not complaining about that. Mike Hegan has 6. Last year he had 13. Come on. He's got 6 in 68 68 at-bats. He had 2 home runs in today's game, including an inside the Parker. That was a lot of fun. We have had very little fun so far this year, so that was a nice little surprise. Tommy Agee's got 5 after hitting a career high 23 last year. All right, so there's your home run leaders. Norm Cash, Elrod Hendricks, Bob Bailey, the much traded Bob Bailey in this sim. Reggie Jackson's got 5. I don't know why, but Reggie never hits home runs in Baseball Mogul. He had 19 last year. He's got 5 this year. I have no idea why. Okay, batting stats, intentional walks. Anybody? Wow, Freddie Patek got intentionally walked. We have nobody that deserves to be intentionally walked. On base percentage. Hal King with 482 on the Red Sox. Mike Hegan's got 412. He's going to walk a lot. 16 walks, 13 strikeouts. Multiply that by 6. Yeah, he won't get over 100. That's still never happened to me. I've never had anyone walk 100 times in a season. Outfield assists. Holy smokes. Jose Cardinal, Jay Johnstone, Jim Lytle, and Scott Northey all have 4. Roy White's got 3. I think we have one person with 1. It's Mike Hegan, if I recall correctly. On base plus slugging, OPS. Mike Hegan is number 8. Wow. And Bill Robinson's got number 16 with 911. All right, let's see here. Plate appearances, I don't care. Range factor, I don't care. RBI, I do care. Oh, look at that. There's no way Bill Robinson can keep that up, but I love that he's doing it. I mean, if we really had to do a MVP of the month for our team, it would absolutely be Bill Robinson. He was a game MVP probably 15 times because nobody else on the team has done jack shit. Let's see here. Runners thrown out. Wow, look at that. McNerney has thrown out more than Dalrymple, and how many starts? 10 starts for McNerney, 40%, with a 76 arm, and the Dalrymple 17 games started, 27%. It really should be the other way. And he's got a 94 arm. Explain that to me. And they're the same age. I didn't realize that. Anyway, Jim Thronch of Washington has 9. Duke Sims has 9 for Cleveland. Okay. Runner thrown out percentage. For those who qualify, Dalrymple is 27.3. Thurman Munson. Nice. Wow. 85 arm, but he's getting it done. Very cool. All right. Runs scored, Mike Epstein, 23. Look at that. Bill Robinson's not even on the list. He's got 9 home runs just like Epstein. And he's not even on the list. Tommy Agee's got 16. Mike Keegan's got 17. I do like Mike Keegan in the first or second spot in the lineup. Because he does walk more than anyone else on our team, I feel like at least he gets on base and we have a chance to do something. Sack hits, mostly pitchers, except for us, because we build our whole team around small ball. Freddie Podtak and Gary Sutherland have 3. Dean Chance has 5. Okay, sack flies. Van Kelly, oh my gosh, Van Kelly has 2, and we have him in the minor leagues. There's Tim Hosley, Tigers catcher, with 4. All right. Do you want to see who makes the most money? I bet you probably do. In the American League, it is Dave McNally, $860,000. Tommy John, $820,000. Mel Stottlemyre, $710,000. Well, obviously, we do not have anybody in that. I'm not paying for anybody right now. Let's take a look at slugging. Jose Cardinal. How is he slugging at 630? At 663. He's got 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 6 home runs. So he's got a third of his home runs from last year, the same amount of triples already, and 1/6 of his doubles approximately, and not even 100 at bats. That's pretty good. Okay, there's Hegan and Robinson. Okay, stolen bases. Do we have anybody on this list? Oh wow, Tommy Agee's 3rd, and Mike Keegan's got 2. So, is this not the stolen base era? I mean, Campy should be there. Angel Bravo has taken advantage of us. Look at his log. How many stolen bases does he have against us? 1, 2, 4. Okay. And Jose Cardinal. Wow. He's stealing. He's getting on base. He's extra base hits. He's the MVP right now. Okay. Strikeouts. Who's striking out? Ethan Blackaby. He's kicked our ass this series. He won game 1 of our series. And he's a nobody. He's a general manager for the Giants at some point of his career. He didn't even have a real baseball card. Tommy Agee, yeah, he's going to strike out a ton. He did last year, right? 117. Well, he's way ahead of that pace. No? Oh, yeah. No, I think he's right on. He's basically almost on pace. All right. Don't make me do math. It's late at night. Shoot. Strikeout percent. Oh, look at that. Gary Sutherland, least likely to strike out, followed by Rich Rollins. That's because we hit and run with him all the time, so he's not going to strike out. Bill Robinson, proficient. Good job by Gary Sutherland, though. He hardly strikes out at all. Struck out 3 times in 94 at-bats. Okay, that's something. It's not nothing. Triples. And a bunch of guys with 2. Hawks. Tony Soleta of the Yankees has 27. Yeah, he had 95 last year. So he's going to walk. And Mike Epstein, he had 101 last year. Oh, he's got more walks and strikeouts. That's impressive. You got to give him some cred for that. Mike Keegan is on the list. Okay. All right, that's good enough for the batting categories. Let's look at pitchers categories, and then we'll take a quick look at the National League, and then we'll just move on for the day. Complete games, because we're just going to go in order. That's what I'm trying to say. Tom Phoebus. He has 4. No, yeah, we'll never get a complete game this year. I don't even know how we could get a complete game. ERA. Jim Nash, 189. There's Rudy May. We just saw him. Dick Estelle. If you pitched against us, you're probably on the list. Because the game will automatically lock you down, whoever your starting pitcher is. It is nice that we have Gene Brabender, our ace, representing us. Okay, games pitched. Don McMahon of the Tigers has 15. And then everybody who can hold a baseball for us is on the list. There's no surprises there. Plus Mike Marshall, which we traded away. All right. Who's getting the most double plays? Oh, Gene Brabender has 8 double plays. Okay. Is he a ground ball pitcher? I can't even remember. 50% of the time. He throws a lot of junk balls. Well, that's cool. I don't think we've ever completed a season with a grounded double play pitcher in the top 10. I can't remember it ever happening. Okay, home runs allowed. Who's giving up the long ball? Holy shnikey. Denny McLain is giving up 19. Oh, yeah, he had 62 last year. See, this game is just jacked up. That's an awesome card, though. That is one of the cloth cards from 1970. You could peel it off. It's like a sticker. He doesn't walk anybody, but he'll give up the long ball. It doesn't make any sense. Gelnar, 8. Dave Leonard had 6 before he got injured. Marty Patton's got 5. He's only made a couple starts. But we're in the our own home stadium where we just give up the gopher ball like crazy. You don't see Brabender on the list. It's because he throws a lot of ground balls. Gelnar, not so much. Leonard is a fly ball pitcher. Yeah, that's why. Marty Party, ground ball pitcher. Oh, no, not much of a ground ball pitcher, 43%. Oh, wait, so Dave Leonard. Wait. No, it's 55% he throws ground balls. Okay. So, yeah, he is a ground ball pitcher. He's given up 6 home runs and 16 hits. That doesn't make sense. Okay, anyway, moving on. Innings pitched. Jerry Nyman, because, of course, why not Jerry Nyman? Clyde Wright just pitched 10 innings today. That is dumb. Yeah, you're not going to see any of our guys ever on that list because, one, we're in a 5-man rotation. Everybody else is doing 4. We couldn't do 4 if we tried. Let's see here. Don't really care about any of that. Quality starts. Catfish Hunter and others with 6. None of us. Let's see here. Saves. Steve Hamilton has 6. Skippy's got 2. Diego's got 1. Mike Marshall's got 4. Yeah. We're not going to have anybody. How many did have Mike Marshall have 42 last year? Yeah. He had 42 for us last year. We're not going to get anywhere. We might not even get 42 wins. Okay, saves. Shutouts. Well, McNally and Phoebus, both for Baltimore, have 2. Makes sense. Starts. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of people with 7 already. Crazy. Strikeouts pitched. Dean Chance has 50. In how many innings? 50 and 50. All right. Catfish, 42 and 54. All right. So yeah, I'm just always kind of curious what the ratio is. Nobody representing us. Strikeouts per 9. Dave Moorhead, Denny McLean are all kind of close. Well, yeah, Jerry Stevenson right there. Gene Brabender. Okay. I guess walks per 9. Yeah, we don't have anybody. No, everybody in our team will walk 6 batters and strike out 1. That's what the kind of pitchers we have. And wins, to wrap it up. Chucky Dobb has 5. Fred Clagis of the White Sox has 5. He's got 2 against us. Jim Nash has 5. Nobody in our team has more than 2. Gene Brabender and I think Marty Party both have 2. Okay, folks, that's going to do it for the American League. And all we're going to do here is take a look at the Nationals. There's the National League. Davey Lopes batting .386 for the Dodgers. First full year, it looks like. Here's the top 10. Darrell Evans, Bake McBride, Lou Brock, Billy Williams, Pete Rose, Al Oliver, and Bobby Tolan. These are all really good names. Very cool. Home runs, Ollie Brown, Darrell Evans, Hank Aaron, that's good. See some actual powerhouse names. And then pitching, wow, J.R. Richard with a sub-1 ERA. He has given up 9 runs, but only 5 earned. A 20-year-old at this point of his career. Wasn't even close to being in the majors. He was still 4 years away, or 3 years away from being in the majors. That's crazy. He's 5-0 and killing it. Juan Marichal, Nolan Ryan, Steve Carlton, Don Sutton, all Hall of Famers. Very cool. And then the wins, we have Lefty, Durker, Jim Maloney, Juan Marichal, and J.R. Richard, Bob Gibson. So that's always nice to see. I do appreciate the fact that some of the big names are on the list. Okay, guys, that's all I really wanted to show you for the league leaders. At this point, as we wrap up this video, I guess a couple things I wanted to just get off my chest is that I'm not really sure what I can do to make this team better, because in order to make competent trades, you really have to have somebody that's at 80 or higher to for trade value. And as batters go, we only have Mike Keegan. Now, we do have potentially great hitters in single A, but I don't think we want to trade away any of our future here. Everybody else is just hot garbage. These are just bodies to help us. Now, I can cut people. I could cut Jerry McNertney and bring up John Bocabella. I guess there are maybe some, like we could cut Woody Woodward and bring Van Kelly back. We could bring up Fred Stanley. We're not going to bring up any of the single A guys yet. They're all 18 years old. So, looking at our roster of expansion players from last year, we really are who we are. Every single person on our team is on the block to be traded. And we have yet to receive any offers this year. If you look at the pitchers, we have Mean Gene, Bob Meyer, Jerry Stevenson, and Ricky Clark, all above 80 or above. And in the bullpen, we have Skip Lockwood. We just traded, Mike Marshall. He was really our only real trade chip. We could get rid of Skip Lockwood. I don't want to, but we could, because anybody can throw in the bullpen if we can get somebody good in return. And Dave Leonard is an 80, and I have tried to trade him because he's on a 1-year deal. He goes to arbitration, but nobody wants him because he's injured. I'm like, well, maybe, hell, we're just paying him to sit around. So I don't know if any of you have any suggestions out there. that are within the team minors or majors that we can shuffle around that you think might be a better move, keeping in mind that if they have a check mark, they cannot be sent to the minors. Only Aurelio, Penella, Comer, Patek, and Hegan are available to be sent to the minors. Everybody else would have to be cut. All right. So anyway, and I'd be willing to do that. Why not? So keep all that in mind as we wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like and or subscribe to the channel. And we will come back tomorrow and flip the calendar to May. We've got one more game against the Angels. Then we got a day off. So we'll advance that day and get ready for a homestand in which I hope we can win a bunch of these games and get back in it. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very long season in which our only goal will be to compile stats, which is also kind of fun. But I don't want to have any 20-game losers, man. That's a cruel thing to do to your pitchers. So, all right, that's going to do it. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, everyone, have a great night.